Hey guys, Aaron back in the garage with the Ferrari. We are doing a little follow-up video to my last video on bleeding the E-Diff for the manual conversion because I got some feedback from comments from you guys. So I don't make these videos just for you guys. Surprise, surprise. I make them for me mostly. A, so that when I take things apart, I can figure out how to put them back together. B, so I can get feedback from you guys because, like I said, this is always the first time I'm doing these things. So I'm always learning things. I like to be corrected by you guys if I do something wrong so I don't screw up my car and I can go back and fix it. So this is one of those cases where we're going to take a little deeper look into what I did in the last video. I used a power probe, as you saw, to actuate the solenoid in order to bleed it out. And so I got some feedback that said I did it wrong. Shout out to Dominic, who has done lots and lots of works on these cars, and he told me to never apply more than 1 amp to the solenoid because it could cause it to burn out. And then he gave me some detailed instructions on the right way to do it. So in this video, I'm gonna try to go back and do it his way. And in an effort to learn, I asked if my power probe could output just 1 amp, and the answer to that was no, it can't do that. But I also asked if it was true that it could burn out my solenoid, and the answer was sometimes. So I'm pretty sure we're working with a low current solenoid on this one. So it says such as transmission shifting, but I think that an E-Diff would fall into this range. So it says that if you forced a high current through it for an extended period of time, it could cause the fine internal wire windings to overheat and fail. Then high current ones like starters, they are built for that. They take a lot of amps. And then it gives me a little voltage versus current. So it says a solenoid only takes the current it needs based on its internal resistance. That's Ohm's law. So if I apply 12 volts and the solenoid has a 12 ohms of resistance, it will naturally draw exactly 1 amp. So it grabs what it needs out of that. So it says the risk occurs if you apply excessive voltage, e.g. using a 24 volt power supply on a 12 volt part, or if the part is only meant for pulsed operation, and you hold the power probe down too long. So this is designed for a pulsed operation, I believe, and I was pulsing it. I wasn't holding it down. So I think that's why it didn't burn out and I didn't have any problems. Dominic told me that this procedure is in the workshop manual, and the only thing that I found in the workshop manual was it said to use an S3 and bleed the hydraulic system, but it gave no more detail than that. So I guess I have a different one than he is referring to. But he was awesome and left a very detailed list of things to do here in the comments. So I'm gonna try to follow that. So back under the car at the E-Diff, this is the solenoid in question that we were activating in the last video. And up here is a bleed screw with a little plastic cap on it. So I should be able to take the plastic cap off. And there we have it. So that is where typically it gets bled from. So he says that if I were to do it the way, if the launch didn't work, that I should pressurize it to 53 bars, like we did before, and it should be kept between 40 and 53, whereas I was draining it all the way down to 0. And then he said you have to verify the locking pressure is at least 10 bar. And I have no idea what that means, but it says it can be done on the launch. And then, only then, should I have applied a controlled 1 amp 12 volt supply, not raw battery current. And then after that, that bleed nipple can be opened and we would purge the internal circuit. Then he says that if the launch bleed procedure does run successfully, and he's seen it work before on my car, model year, he said then the process is very straightforward. You initiate the launch routine, you verify the locking pressure, and you bleed it from the nipple. And that's all, it's all automated. So I'm gonna open up the launch again and we're gonna try that. All right, going back into the launch, going back into my 430. On the options here, we're going to system selection. Going to differential system. We're going to go to actuation test. And we're going to go to E-Diff bleed. And we're going to see if anything happens when we do this. Yeah. Activation test complete. Yeah, it did not do anything. Whether or not you hit on or off, it just says it's complete. All right, so we have verification that in my car, I cannot just use this system. So let me go to, what is discharge system pressure? Oh, I guess that, so if I do this, I guess it will start relieving the pressure. Nope, that doesn't work either. That doesn't do anything. So we have pump. All right, so we're back to this. So I can hit on, and yes, it is starting to pressurize the system. I don't know if you can hear that in the background, and I can hit off to turn it off. So those are the only things I can control with my launch. All right, I ran my pump until it sounded like it was struggling, and that made it go over 53 bar. So he said to get to 53 bar, we're a little bit over, and now I'm just going to crack open that bleed valve, and we'll do some bleeding through there. All right, this bleed screw is tiny. It's a little 7mm, so I just got it hooked up to my bottle that's magnetically held onto the axle there. So I'm just going to reach up here and crack it open. Maybe. All right. Yeah, it's on there tight. Okay, it's open and nothing is coming out. Oh, there we go. Finally getting, oh, I loosened it pretty far. Finally get some fluid coming out. All right, so I guess that means that there is no air at the top anymore. So I'm gonna consider that bled. We're gonna tighten him back up. All right. Mission complete. So what Dominic was pointing out before is when I did this procedure, all I was doing was bleeding these lines here. I wasn't bleeding the internals, and that is how you bleed the internals of it. So I think I'm good. Should I reconnect something here and apply power to the solenoid again after bleeding that or while bleeding that? I guess if I was doing it all over from the beginning, I would go ahead and be bleeding that while I was doing this stuff down here. But I don't know. More feedback, please let me know in the comments if you guys have done this before, how you've done it, and any tips on the procedure for everybody else that's going to be doing this moving forward. In case you're curious, after bleeding, my system is down at 48.3 bars. And if you sit here and wait for a while, it does very, very slowly depressurize. So thanks again for the feedback, guys, and the continued support. Again, my update is I'm still freaking waiting on my Larini exhaust. So yes, we got Larini headers, Larini Sport Cats coming in. I got the Sport Cats, waiting on the headers. Come on, freaking postage, let's go.